Okay, so in the first section we discussed the importance of having huge amounts of data in a digitized form, or big data in simple terms. We then showed in the second section that in addition to data we also need to be able to store and analyze this data. This was achieved through significant improvements in processing power. In this section, we will discuss the final ingredient that allows Google to shift the bargaining power from SEOs and digital marketers in general. Of course, by now you guessed it. Great data and processing power alone would not be able to commodify traditional ranking factors like URLs, keyword density, meta keywords, and many more. It needed to be analyzed by highly advanced algorithms. So this takes us to the traditional statement that Google is getting smarter. This is what SEOs like to tell their clients in an attempt to keep the magic surrounding their profession. Google's algorithms like RankBrain are often mentioned to power search engines with the ability to learn in a similar way to the far more complex human brain. And I guess Google's misleading name for its RankBrain algorithm doesn't really help either, in dismissing the incorrect assumption that its algorithms learn and process information in the same way as human brains. Let's try to get this right and clarify the AI learning process that actually makes Google smarter. By understanding how it learns, we will better understand both the myths and the possible future capability of Google's algorithm. We will also be in a far better position to judge the role of SEOs and the status of the profession in the future. For simplicity, let's just refer to Google's entire collection of algorithms as RankBrain. Of course, RankBrain is only one of the many algorithms in this collection, but let's keep it simple and assume that RankBrain equals all Google's algorithms. There are two main paths to RankBrain achieving AI status. To describe the first method, let me relate a conversation between me, one of our clients, and the client's previous digital marketing agency. In an attempt to impress us, the head of SEO at the agency claimed that SEO is more complicated than it used to be, as Google was getting smarter. Out of curiosity, I asked her what she meant by getting smarter. She first started by launching into more waffle about the effect of Google getting smarter. She then went on to associate Google's RankBrain with the human brain. She explained how the Google brain is crawling our websites, reads our content, and takes in the theme of the website, keywords, and so forth. Basically, what this head of SEO was describing was a scenario where Google is getting smarter by emulating the workings of the human brain. As another example, we once had a talk delivered by a well-known social media influencer and experienced head of SEO. I was amazed at how little understanding this person had about the workings of Google's RankBrain. In addition to making no reference to RankBrain as a ranking factor at all, he went on to advise us on creating as many pages as possible targeting specific keywords. He also attributed the increase in the number of keywords as measured via SEMrush exclusively to this strategy. Now, I'm a very polite person, but I was paying this guy good money to deliver a talk to my team, and he was teaching them the exact type of SEO that was being practiced when Google first started. The truth is that I could hardly refrain from telling him that during the past 2 years, most of my wife's personal websites have seen significant increases in the volume of keywords recognized within SEMrush. This was even though in reality we did not do any SEO and added no new content to them at all. In fact, we haven't done anything to these websites since the moment of their launch, more than 7 years ago. I could not help but assume that this highly paid, experienced SEO could not understand the AI developments Google has seen over the years. Now, back to our conversation. Brain emulation is one path described by Oxford professor Nick Bostrom for reaching human-level intelligence. So, will RankBrain be able to achieve AI via this route? Well, in principle, Bostrom points out that the problem is not necessarily knowing how to achieve this goal, but having the technology required to achieve it. Just consider this. Your brain generates over 1 billion floating point operations per second. However, the computing power needed to achieve this kind of performance is well beyond realistic achievements. Sure, as we saw in the last session, in May 2022, Frontier, the first supercomputer, was first launched. And yet, we are still far away from achieving the computing power required to emulate brain activity. For example, a team led by Marcus Dismissal and Abigail Morrison has managed to create a neural network of 1.73 billion nerve cells. These cells were connected by 10.4 trillion synapses. Now, this sounds impressive, right? But then we remember the human brain contains 80 billion nerve cells. So, in fact, Dismissal and Morrison were able to simulate only 1 second of real brain activity. And it took them almost 83,000 processors and 1 petabyte of system memory to achieve this outcome. This attempt suggests that achieving AI by emulation of the human brain is mission impossible. Let's stop here, but in the next session we will discuss various other paths to achieving Google's AI mission. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.